Hey there friends, welcome back to another Legally on America video. I'm of course Paul Glasgow here, the one and only truth pimp, dealing you a vulgar display of logic and reason on a daily basis. And today, it's not logic and reason. It's actually a cooking segment that I'm going to show you. A lot of you guys have seen me post pictures of boiled crawfish down here in South Louisiana. We eat a lot of boiled crawfish, and obviously when it's in season. I'll show you guys how the process is done. Around here in Southwest Louisiana, crawfish boil ain't just a meal. It's a backyard ritual, a social cornerstone, and practically a state religion around these parts. To understand the process, you got to understand the culture that was built around it. Crawfish, don't ever say crayfish or crawdads, have been a staple of South Louisiana diets for centuries, starting with the Houma Indians and later perfected by the Acadians, the Cajuns, who settled the swamps and bayous around here. Historically, wild crawfish were harvested straight from the Chaffalaya Basin. Today, while the basin wild catch is still prized, a massive portion of the market comes from farm-raised crawfish, uniquely rotated in tandem with rice crops. When the rice fields are flooded, the crawfish thrive on the decaying vegetation, creating a brilliant, sustainable agricultural cycle. The season typically kicks off as winter fades around January or February and runs through the peak of spring, wrapping up around June or July as the summer heat sets in, as this hardens the shells of the crawfish. Down here, a crawfish bowl is the ultimate community event. Chad and I went over to my very favorite crawfish place, Contraband Crawfish, to take a closer look at the boiling process. Boiling crawfish is a precise multi-step process. If you ask any 10 Louisianans how to do it, you're probably going to get 11 different answers. But they share a lot of similarities and everybody pretty much has the gold standard down. Here is the technical blueprint for a standard sack of crawfish, which is roughly 30 to 35 pounds a sack. First, we got the purge and the wash. Before they hit the pot, you got to get the mud and the debris and the old grass. You got to get that off the shell. You dump the live crawfish. In this case, you're dumping it in this particular tray or bin right here, where they hose them off as fresh, cool water. You flood them over and over with this clean, cool water, and it's going to get any impurities, dirt, again, dried grass, whatever, off the shell. You'll notice that they also dispose of the dead ones. Discarding any dead crawfish, which is usually floating ones, are almost always dead ones, but you can spot other ones as well. You want to get them out of the mix because anybody who's eaten a dead crawfish that's boiled knows that was a dead crawfish. Once you clean them, you want to keep them damp and shaded until you're ready to boil them. As you can see, they have several of the strainers already loaded and ready to go. Now, in many cases, the seasoning, whether it's a dry seasoning, liquid boil, or anything else, is added early on, along with onions, garlic heads, lemon juice. Usually you put those in early and you cover the lid and you bring that to a raging, rolling boil. Let that boil for about 10 minutes before adding anything else to ensure the aromatics infuse the water. Next, if you want to throw any vegetables in here, which they do here, you drop the potatoes, corn, whatever else you want into the boiling seasoned water, and you cook that for about 10 or 15 minutes. Remove that and you bring the water back to a violent rolling boil. Now it's time to introduce the crawfish. You lower the basket full of clean live crawfish into the rolling, boiling pot of water. And if you listen close enough, you can probably hear them all screaming as they go into the boiling water. Now you want to put the lid back on because the temperature is going to drop significantly when that cold crawfish hits that boiling water. Now keep those burners on high. We want some high, super raging boiling water for this. Once that water returns to a boil, you cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now, key here, do not overcook them here or the meat will turn mushy and it will stick to the shell and it will piss you off because they're hard to peel when that happens. That's why these guys at Contraband Crawfish do such a good job. I've never had that problem here. Once they hit that time limit, you lift the strainer basket, let it drain completely for about a minute or so. You then dump that entire payload into an ice chest, and that's where a lot of the seasoning takes place also. Everybody has their own recipe and everybody claims theirs is the best. This one here is pretty darn good. They're gonna throw a dry seasonal in there, a little bit of lemon juice. I've seen people throw other things in there like mustard, butter, number of other things, and all that stuff is good. I don't think there's any wrong way to actually boil crawfish unless you're throwing tomatoes or something stupid in there. One other thing I like about my friends here at Contraband Crawfish is they do a really good job with other seafood. You can get snow crabs, you can get blue crabs, you can get boiled shrimp. Of course, we get it all, and we like it all. Really, really good. Now, these guys will have crawfish sitting and waiting in the seasoning because as it sits, it's going to soak up some of this seasoning. And then, of course, whenever orders are made, they simply bring it up front, and the fine young ladies up front bag it all up and give it to the customers. Once all is said and done, you have a nice piping hot platter of boiled crawfish, and if you so choose, boiled shrimp, boiled crabs, potatoes, corn, This is an absolute delicacy down here in Southwest Louisiana and most of the South in Louisiana, and something that we look forward to every January when the crawfish season rolls around. This is a piece of South Louisiana that not a lot of people get to experience, but trust me, it is heavily ingrained in our culture, and anyone who has grown up in this area will tell you there's nothing better than a big fat platter of boiled crawfish with all the fixings in it. Thanks to my friends over at Contraband Crawfish. This was an absolutely great meal, and I'll be back next week. Folks, look forward to more videos like this, not only on Legally Armed America, but my other YouTube channel, The Bacon Report, where I'll be doing non-firearms and non-political type videos on a regular basis. So you want to go subscribe again to The Bacon Report and look for these types of videos out there.